Continuing with more cylinders. Today we're going to tackle cylinders with mirrored sides or mirrored walls and also some glass reflection. So if you would get set up with me in turning in your sketchbook to page 18. You will notice page 18 is divided into two sections. We're going to draw right here. Actually, it wouldn't matter what side you pick, but just know that on the second side, leave room for something different. So to get ourselves set up, what I'd like to do is, and again, I use my eye here, looking right there at that space, and draw a straight line, a vertical line, just like that. And I would like you then to cross that line in making somewhat of an I, a capital I. The bottom here is shorter than up here. This one's longer, this one's slightly shorter. So in our practice of cylinders, you've found that cylinders make up a ton of lifelike objects. Many, many, many lifelike objects take on characteristics of a cylinder. Today, our object is going to be a glass of water that you can see through. In doing so, we're going to start with our cylinder. What I'd like you to do is divide this line here equal distance. So take your straight edge. My straight edge is very marked up by now. I see here, I'm just simply going to find that spot over here. So put a curve here, put a curve here, erase your overhang because you will not need that. Coming down here then, again, not quite as wide as the top because we want mirrored walls. Mirrored walls mean that our lines come in like this, and if we were to fold our paper directly in the middle, those side walls would match, those diagonals would match. So I'm going to pick a space about right here. Again, I need to lay my straight edge, mark this, slide over, mark this, and erase your overhang. Now, we are going to do what we do with cylinders. We're going to do our gentle smiles and our gentle frowns. So I'm just going to pick a spot. I'm going to pick a spot about right here. What I want to do is I find where is that spot up here. I lay that, I mark it, slide it up here. I find that it's right there. That will help me, again, put my frown in, sketch lightly. I often times regret that I draw so dark. Curve here. I'm a little bit off, I notice. So get your oval in like this. Then erase your guidelines in the middle. Now what I want to do here is that same measurement, which I'm just checking. Yep, that was my measurement. I'm going to put a mark for my frown and a mark for my smile. And I have my oval down here. What I'd like you to do now is our mirrored sides. So I'm going to connect right here with right here. That. And if I did my measurements correctly there, I should end up with mirrored side walls. It's starting to look like a tall glass. Now, erase your guidelines in here. You won't need those. You will no longer need this middle line. We needed that middle line just to get our distance. Alrighty. So we need to put our cylinder, we need to finish. Right now it looks really white and flat, but we need to put our edges in as we did our soda cans, our cans of corn. And in doing so, just a little reminder, I want to parallel this line. Again, sketch lightly till you know that's where you want it. Then you can go over it and thicken it up. And remember, inside here, I gently curve and parallel the frown. And curve at the edge. Notice that this goes here, and that goes there. Because this is see-through, I had to draw this frown because it's the back wall of my glass, and you will see that. So I'm going to, as I did up here, I'm going to parallel inside. And I'm going to parallel outside on that. And this rounds in here. Oops, got an extra little overdraw here, so I'm going to erase that out. So notice here, that line and this line as this line and this line and this. What I'm going to do as well is I want to put my table line, my counter line, and I'm going to put it in. Now, because this is a see-through object, I'm going to put it in here. I might not press quite as hard here, but I'm going to put it here as well. Now I know this casts a shadow on my counter, so I'm going to put that shadow line. I want to make this look like it's partly full. So to make this look like it's partly full, sketch lightly. And again, I'm going to sketch a straight line, but that makes my glass look flat because that's not the line we would see to see the liquid in the glass. But instead, we need to do another oval as we did up here. We need to parallel this. Now, I have lost my measurements a long time ago. So I can still see that. I'm going to put my smile line, my frown line, and now I parallel this line here. I round here, and I put my smile in here. And my goal is to have the illusion that it's liquid inside the glass. I can erase my guidelines. Again, you might be going, why do guidelines? It simply helps me a lot. And if yours begins to take on wonkiness, it may be because you're getting lazy. Don't want you to get lazy. Guidelines are good. Now, say that this is liquid and this is my glass. What I'm going to do really quickly is just, because it is a glass and it's got the cylinder characteristics, I'm going to lay some lead down. Right now, this looks terrible. It looks scratchy. Just wanted to lay some lead down because it's a large area. And I'm going to shade as it's a cylinder. I notice that I'm picking up something from my back page because I have a line there and I don't like that line. So how can I fix it? This would be a great place to use your eraser. Don't blow the shavings off. Sort of got rid of the line there. Now inside, remember I said that we're going to put a straw in this glass. So to put a straw in the glass, one thing is the straw will end up down here and it will go against the edge of the glass. So the edge of the glass, the interior, is going to be right there. So I'm going to put a line like that. I'm also going to double that line because it's a straw. I'm drawing dark. Again, hopefully you're not drawing quite as dark because there are some lines that will be erased. So here goes the straw. I'm going to make this a little bit fancier straw, and that is I'm going to turn my straw as though, and this is a cylinder, a straw is a cylinder. It's one of those bendy straws. Now, I want this to look real, but it's not going to look real as it is now because I need to do some erasing. So you have to think to yourself, If the straw is inside the glass, then I won't see the back of my glass. So look at this now. Look at this now. And then we'll look at it in a minute. So I'm going to erase the back of my glass because my straw lays over the top of the glass. That's number one. Number two, when I get to this part of my glass, that's the front of my glass. So I won't see these two itty bitty side lines. I'm going to get those out of there. Notice how my straw looks like now. It's tucked into my glass there. Now, when I come here in the liquid portion, where do I see the straw? I don't see the back of the liquid right there. Erase that. On the front of my glass, I see the liquid line. So you see how you don't see it back there, but you see it coming here. Now think about the bottom. What is closer to you, the straw or the back of the glass? The straw is. So let's get rid of the back of the glass because we don't see the back of the glass. So those little tiny little things is what will make the difference of a drawing looking real. This I'm going to curve off because a straw is cylinder. So important to look at, to see, to make this appear like it's truly in your glass. Now the last thing is we may want to take, well actually two things. We may want to take our paper towel and do a little shadow outside our glass. Maybe not. That's not such a big deal. But we want this to truly look like a glass, and to get it to look like a glass, as you did with the fish tank, take your mechanical drawing pencil possibly and pick a space to do just very subtly, different size, but very subtly, maybe 3 lines. I'll show you again here. I like to go in 3s. And now you give it the appearance. A little bit harder to show on the screen like this, but now you give the appearance that it's a glass with liquid in it, with a straw that truly goes into the glass.